Some people are born with everything handed to them on a silver platter. But this isn't that story. This is the story of two little girls practicing tennis on cracked courts in Compton, California. One of the toughest neighborhoods in America. And one of those girls would become the greatest female tennis player of all time. This is Serena Williams' journey from Compton to world champion. September 26, 1981, Serena Jamaica Williams was born in Saginaw, Michigan. But her story really begins when her family moved to Compton. In the 1980s and 90s, Compton was the height of gang violence. Most families were just trying to survive. But Serena's father, Richard Williams, had a different vision. Richard watched a tennis match on TV and saw the winner receive $40,000. He thought to himself, "My daughters are going to play tennis." So Richard, who had no formal training, read every book he could find. And then he took his daughters Venus and Serena to the public courts in Compton. While gunshots rang out in the background, Richard drilled his daughters on those beat-up courts. They'd practice before school. After school, on weekends. Serena was just 4 years old when she first picked up a racket. Richard's coaching method was tough. Really, he didn't believe in shortcuts. If you wanted to be great, you had to outwork everyone else. You had to be mentally stronger than your opponents. He would have neighborhood kids heckle his daughters during practice. Why? To prepare them for the pressure and racism they would face in professional tennis. That's discipline. That's sacrifice. Not just from Serena, but from her entire family. By the time Serena was 9, it was clear she had something special. In 1991, the Williams family moved to Florida for better training. But Serena's path was filled with obstacles that would have broken most people. First, there was the racism. Tennis was, and let's be honest, still is, a predominantly white sport. Serena and Venus were often the only black players in tournaments. They faced comments, looks, and treatment that no child should have to endure. But instead of letting it destroy her, Serena used it as fuel. Then there were the doubters. So many people said she'd never make it. That she was too muscular, too aggressive, too different from what a tennis player should look like. But here's what separates champions from everyone else. They don't let other people's opinions define their reality. But Serena kept training, 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. While other teenagers were hanging out with friends, going to parties, living normal lives, Serena was on the court, sweating, pushing herself beyond her limits. She turned professional at just 14 years old in 1995. And for the first few years, she struggled. She doubted herself, but she didn't quit. That's the key. Then came 1999. Serena was 17 years old. At the US Open, she won her first Grand Slam title. And this wasn't just a win, this was a statement. After that victory, people expected her to dominate immediately. But she didn't win another Grand Slam until 2002. Lesser athletes would have crumbled. But Serena used those years to get better, stronger, more determined. In 2002, she won the French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open. In 2003, she won the Australian Open, completing the Serena Slam. She was just 21 years old. Over the next 2 decades, Serena faced injuries that would end most careers. She dealt with personal tragedies and life-threatening health scares. And every single time, she came back stronger. By the time Serena retired in 2022, her resume was unbelievable. 23 Grand Slam singles titles, the most in the Open era, 4 Olympic gold medals, over $94 million in prize money. But here's what makes Serena's story truly special. It's not just about the trophies. Serena changed the game. She proved that you don't have to fit into anyone's box to be successful. She showed young black girls that they belong in spaces where they've been told they don't. She maintained her grace, power, and dignity through everything. That's not just athletic excellence. That's character. That's resilience. So what can we learn from Serena Williams' journey? First, your circumstances don't define your destiny. Serena came from Compton. The odds were stacked against her. But she and her family refused to accept limitations. Second, discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That's the price of greatness. Third, resilience isn't about never falling down. It's about always getting back up. Fourth, use the doubt as fuel. Every time someone told Serena she couldn't do something, she proved them wrong. And finally, success is a journey, not a destination. Serena Williams' story isn't just about tennis. It's about what's possible when you combine talent with discipline, when you pair dreams with sacrifice, And when you meet every obstacle with resilience, she showed us that the little girl from Compton can become the greatest of all time. So the question is, what's your Compton? What's the obstacle standing between you and your dreams? Because if Serena taught us anything, it's that greatness isn't given. It's earned, one practice session at a time. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe. And remember, your journey starts today. Let's go chase those dreams.